pretty much anything is open to new business. I mean, just about anything at that point. As long as it's not the topic. In other words, so no, we're not here, let's say we vote on something that maybe half the public doesn't like and the other half does. So it's voted on, it's finished, okay, and that's done. So we really don't want to beat that horse to death. You move on to something else.
Okay, my question is, John, what if somebody wants to talk about Peckham?
Well, if it's a new topic about Peckham, I guess they could bring it up if it's new business. If it's not, if it's something that, that's been heard or argued or discussed, I guess that's up to you.
Okay, you let me handle the burden then, huh? Okay.
It's all yours, pal.
All right. Okay, so first of all, correspondence is on file with the town clerk as procedure. We're going to have a presentation tonight from the Dutchess Land Conservancy. I understand. You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Just gonna tweak this a tiny bit so I can flip pages. All right. Yeah. I think, does this sound okay? Yeah. Okay. My name is Erin Hoagland. I'm the Senior Land Projects Manager for the Dutchess Land Conservancy, and we are here tonight to make a presentation and request for a letter of endorsement board, a New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets application for purchasing the development rights of the Hahn Farm. And a requirement of that process is that we approach all municipal town boards for a presentation and a request for endorsement of the project so that we can provide that letter to the state as evidence that the municipality is generally in support of this program and in support of protecting the property. And so I hope you all received my packet of information which kind of outlines our request and gives a little bit of background. It has some maps, some of which I have with me on this easel. So today I'm talking about the Hahn Farm. Tom Hahn is here with us tonight. As many of you probably know about the Hahn Farm, it's the subject of our application is actually 100 acres of the farm, and that's straddling Salt Point Turnpike here and Netherwood Road. And this is, as you can see on this map, a context map of other protected lands. And so all of the properties in blue are DLC conservation easements, and you can see there's kind of a contiguous stretch. All of this is farmland that's been protected by the DLC. This is the Locust Grove Farm owned by the Atkins, and this is all of Glenmore Farm owned by the O'Learys. Both of those projects the town provided an endorsement for, and we were able to fund the purchase of development rights with state funding and county funding. We'll also be seeking county funding for the Hahn Farm, so it'll be a 75-25% match, hopefully, if we're successful. And so the Hahn Farm has been in Tom Hahn's family since 1798. It's been run by his family the entire time. He's the 8th generation farmer. Was a dairy farm originally, a charter member of Hudson Valley Fresh, and after Tom took over from his parents, he diversified in the late 80s to the operation that still thrives today, hay, corn, and livestock operation, supporting beef cattle, hogs, poultry, birds, and all of those products are sold direct to consumers from the farm store that's on site right on Salt Point Turnpike here. So also a lot of agritourism activities over the years, and just kind of a really key farm in this very special Salt Point farm area of Pleasant Valley and also up into Clinton there. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the natural resources on the property. So as you can see, these are the farmland soils. About 34% of the 100 acres is comprised of statewide important and prime farmland soils, so just really key productive soils that are important to agricultural use and often, gone forever if they end up being developed in any way. If the farm were to become a housing development, these productive soils are lost forever. Additionally, the properties in the Wappinger Creek watershed, there is a tributary and sub-tributary to the Wappinger Creek, as well as tributaries to the Great Spring Creek that run through the property here, also surrounded by state DEC and federal wetlands that are part of the National Wetlands Inventory. That DEC wetland kind of acts as a a buffer around the tributary to the Wappinger Creek. This also shows a site plan, so this is the aerial map of the property. This 17 acres is part of the southern parcel. It will be excluded from the conservation easement. There is an agreement with one of Tom's sisters, who he owns the entire south side of the road with, that she will take ownership as an individual of that piece, and then she will then relinquish her ownership of the rest of the parcel. That will be left out of the easement, but Tom will have life tenancy ability to farm the property, because it is, you can see it connects to the pasture and is really kind of fully integrated. The property that surrounds the northern parcel there is also protected. That was protected by a donated easement back in the mid-90s. So this is kind of just an extension of the protected lands in the area. It does, supporting purchase of development rights and farmland protection does fit with the priorities of the Town of Pleasant Valley Comprehensive Plan and Open Space and Farmland Protection Plan. This farm falls within a significant resource area that's identified in the open space plan, the Salt Point Gretna Road area, and it specifically calls out Hahn Farm as being, a key part of that area and worthy of protection, and kind of furthering the protection of the rural character of Pleasant Valley and the Salt Point hamlet. And so, I don't know if there are any questions. I did provide the letter. You're welcome to make any edits or additions that you see fit. But I actually attempted to, mirror it as much as possible to the letter that was provided back in, we started this process back in 2014, and the town board at that time provided a letter of endorsement. So we tried to mirror that as much as possible. So.
Yeah, I have no necessarily issue with it. My only question about formality is, do we vote on the letter that she wrote, or do we edit it and just send our own? You know what I mean? That's the only.
Have you already met with planning board?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so they don't have to provide an endorsement, but there is a component of the application attesting to the development pressures in the town, and so they just had to provide a letter mostly of quantitative information about building permits and subdivision requests in the town, and they did provide that letter just a couple weeks ago. Yep.
Is there an application deadline?
So for the county program, there's a deadline of September 1st. So that's kind of for our own purposes. The state application this is the requirement for the state application. So the sooner we can get all our materials together, the better. But if you needed a little bit of time to make changes to the letter or anything like that, there is some flexibility there.
So we could take this and actually, really sift through it if we have to. It looks very spot on as far as I'm concerned from a glance, but we could take our time and look at it and sift through it a little bit more and be ready by September 1st for
Yeah.
an actual decision. Do we need to make a resolution, or do we just accept this?
I would recommend that maybe we do a prepared resolution before it,
Yeah.
and it is of significance.
Okay.
And at that time, we would authorize the supervisor in that resolution to sign.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One question, Paul.
Yeah.
If we do a resolution, we could call a special meeting for that?
You could, always, but I think what I'm hearing is that it's not necessary to do it at the next board meeting.
Yeah, is the next, mid-September.
Okay.
Yeah, the deadline for September 1st isn't, okay, and that's fine, because this letter isn't for that application, so that would be totally fine. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, oral reports. Town clerk.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, so my report goes from July 21st to August 17th. This month, we did 44 dog renewals. We had 170 total dog enumerations, which came to $585 for fees for the town. So the total dogs we have within the town of Pleasant Valley is 671 licensed dogs. We did 7 marriage licenses, 8 marriage transcripts, 22 death transcripts. Hunting and fishing, we did 20. Peddler's permit, we did 2, which came to a $100 total fee. Monies to the supervisor was $1,272.81. Monies to New York State was $2,916.19. The refuse for July took in $6,535, which made the total for the year so far $36,054. And we did 24 handicap renewals. Give me 1 second. Since the last report, we've completed, between my office and Planning and Zoning, we completed 6 FOIL requests, and we still have 2 pending. So in regards to hunting and fishing, we have begun selling hunting licenses. We started on August 2nd. The hunting cards this year that all the clerks provide is in memory of our former supervisor and close friend Penny Hickman and her favorite charity, Hunters Helping the Hungry. Penny would deliver pounds of venison each year to different locations to help feed the hungry. If anyone is interested to know about this charity and donating their venison, please reach out to my office and we can provide more information. We are all set with our rabies clinic. The Dutchess County Department of Behavioral and Community Health, in partnership with the Dutchess County SPCA and my office, are all set to do our first rabies clinic to be held on Saturday, 25th. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Town Hall. This clinic is open for all dogs, cats, and ferrets. They are free. It is free to all Dutchess County residents. There will be a $10 fee for non-residents, and pre-registration is required. There will also be microchipping available. So speaking with Sandy Coe and myself, we would like to hold a flu clinic, our first flu clinic here in the town hall. We've been doing some research, and along with Recreation, we would like to partner up with CVS and hold the clinic here right in the big room. The CVS will come out. They have their own team to process the vaccinations and all the insurance paperwork. The clinic would be open to regular flu shots and also offer high-dose flu shots for 65 for seniors. We are still working out details, insurance, but there'll be more information to follow in regards to that. We thought that would be a nice program to offer for our residents of Pleasant Valley. I received an email from the New York State Emergency Rental Assistance Program. This program assists households who are behind on their rent, who have experienced financial hardship due to COVID, and are at risk of homelessness or housing instability. This assistance can pay up to 12 months of past due rent, and for some households, it can pay up to 3 months of future rent. This program can also pay up to 12 months of overdue electric or gas bills. Payments would be issued directly to the landlords or to the utility provider. Flyers will be available in the lobby and also in my office if anyone is interested in that program. I'd like to thank Councilman Mazzella for making a very nice sign for the marquee. It looks really great for the bicentennial, and I ask everyone to please keep the Mazzella family in your thoughts and prayers at this difficult time. Just remember, we're united. When we're united, there's nothing we can't do. Again, I'd just like to say thank you to all the employees of Pleasant Valley, to my staff, Kathy Miller and Jen Adams. Thank you for the amazing job you do every day, and know that you're being recognized. You're an important part of Pleasant Valley team, and we value your dedication to the town. So we're going to have a Hometown Heroes update. Jeff is going to provide. Come on over.
Gee, thanks. You're a tough act to follow. Good evening. Jeff Cady. I'm the chairperson of the Hometown Hero Banner Committee. We have great news tonight. We had a meeting Monday, and we have picked a date for the unveiling of the first banner, which will be September 13th. It's a Monday night at 7 o'clock. It'll be at the corner of Niagara Road and Route 44. The Pleasant Valley Fire Department, along with others, will be in attendance. We hope that this is going to be a kickoff to a great program. I know we have the board support, which we really appreciate, and I know we have the veterans people, their support from Dutchess County. Tony's been working with them. We, and our committee, I can't say enough about our committee. You know, Mary Beth and I started talking about this almost 2 years ago, and it's taken a lot of time, and it's near and dear to a lot of our hearts, and we just appreciate all the support, not just with the town board, with the town people. Once you see the banner, I have not seen the banner, but I've been told that it is almost perfect. So we did go with a local vendor here, Richie Canero from Valley Custom Sign Shop. He's working tirelessly. He's had problems with his printer. I don't know how much money he spent to get it fixed, but he's really come through for us, and he's helping us a ton. I'd also like to reach out to Frank. Frank is working with us. We're setting up a really, really nice Facebook page. I don't know how to do it. I can barely use my smartphone. You know, it'd be a stupid phone for me, but anyway. But Frank has really helped a lot, and we hope to open that. I was just talking with Tony, and we want to get the word out about this ceremony for this first banner, and it's like we weren't going to open the Facebook page until like September 14th, but we might have to open the Facebook page early to get the word out, so the public knows what's going on. Tony's contacted people from the county, veterans. We've talked to, he's working on talking to, Tony, come up here, will you? Come on, you leave me hanging here. Tony, where'd you go? Who'd you reach out to, Tony, with the?
So far, it's the American Legion, the VFW, Rolling Thunder, which is a group out of Newburgh, and Dutchess County Veterans Affairs so far. So, that's who we're looking at.
Okay, so we're hoping, you know, that everybody wants to come out, come out. Parking will be here at the town hall. We'll be at the rec park. I would like to, at this time, if I could, ask the town board if they could do a resolution for that evening. I've talked to John Baxter, Highway Superintendent, and he's in favor of this. If we could close Niagara Road from 6 to 8 that evening. I will talk with the fire police captain and the fire chief to see if we can get fire police at either end to help with that. But if there's, I know you have to do a resolution, because I know you have to do it for Pleasant Valley Weekend, if I remember correctly. But if that's something that you guys could do, that would be great. And that would help with traffic. And then we could use Niagara Road to park on one side. In case there's an emergency, we can get the emergency vehicles through. Yes, and Mary Beth secured Sue Serino. She will be here that evening. And some others as well. I would like to, at this point, reach out to the town board. Obviously, you folks are definitely invited. You know, the fire department will be there with a ladder truck. We're going to put the ladder truck up. Don Veith from Veith Electric, who has come forward to say he would help with no cost to the committee to help install banners along with the fire department, because he realizes that the fire department won't be able to do all the banners that we have, or that we have coming. So he has graciously done that. And I'm the type of person who, if you're helping me, I'm helping you. So we'll put his bucket truck on the other side of the pole, so he gets some visibility, and he's mentioned in the program that he's donating his services to do this. We've picked a master of ceremonies, Gary Aber, and I think it's going to be a good night. So if you know of anybody, I'm going to ask you just for a couple more weeks just to keep that on the back burner. until we actually open the program up. I know I've been getting phone calls. The only thing that we need from the family is a good picture. You can only do so much with a picture that's been folded or that's been damaged by the sun. Rich has stated he can do some things with a picture. It's not a miracle worker like a lot of these people. If you take it down to, I can't remember the name of the place at the old Cable Plaza on Brickyard Hill, they did something for me with my dad, with a picture of my dad, and it turned out fabulous. So he's going to be the one that makes the final decision on the picture with the family, and if it needs to be spruced up that he can't do, then that's going to have to be on the family also. And I know you've all been waiting to hear this, but it's right around $180. That's the banner and the brackets. So it's going to be right around 180, 185. You know, that's my report. You guys, the board, have any questions? Yes, John?
So this particular night is going to be just the first banner, right?
Yes, correct, one banner.
How many banners do you anticipate or have lined up?
Well, I already have, just with people who have contacted me, 10 more. And once the one banner gets up, I think, and people are watching the parade, I think that we're going to be inundated, which is fine.
So I have a suggestion.
Yes, sir.
So the 13th is the week before the actual bicentennial, which is 17, 18, 19. We may, I'm not sure exactly what the time is, maybe Dave can shed light on it. We may have the tents up by then, it might be coming on the 14th, I don't know. If we have the tents up, you could certainly have a ceremony under a tent if necessary that's there.
Okay.
So it might work like right in conjunction with your timing of your ceremony and then the kickoff of the week.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, any questions from the board members?
No.
Come on, Mary, you don't have a question? Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeff. No, appreciate your time.
County legislator?
Good evening, Town Board. Really, Jeff, great job, you and your committee. Something very important. Veterans are very important.
Thank you.
My dad served. Just want to commend Jeff for that and the rest of the committee. So we had a board meeting last week. It was a very light schedule, which August usually is, the August board meeting usually is. A couple things to bring to your attention and to the community. Oh, I'm Don Sagliano, I'm County Legislator for District 2. I have a portion of, most of Pleasant Valley and a portion of the town of Poughkeepsie in my district. So 47 Cannon Street, which people may or may not know, was the old Board of Elections building. We adopted a resolution and a contract to sell that property. It's being sold to a local property developer who's also done other developments along Cannon Street. City of Poughkeepsie is very excited because they like what this developer has done. The Board of Elections moved recently over to by St. Francis Hospital, Mid-Hudson Regional, if anybody needs to know. The sales price was significantly higher than the original bid that was opened, because the original bid that came in to the for the sale was below what the assessed value was. So the county's going to end up getting $375,000 for the sale of the price. The bid was only $250,000, but through negotiations, the county was able to get more money from the bidder. So that's exciting. People in the city of Poughkeepsie are very excited because they've done some attractive work along Cannon Street. We also adopted a resolution for $3.7 million of bonds for various repairs, mostly HVAC repairs to various county buildings. And that was basically the extent of the business meeting. I did want to bring you guys up to speed as to, because there's been some questions, and I see it's on the agenda later, Camp No Teaming. The county has signed a non-disclosure agreement with the representatives of the owners of that property. The county is very interested in expanding any potential opportunities for residents. Other than that, I have no information because the legislature is not a party to the non-disclosure agreement, because the administration is the one who negotiates, and we only come in as a policymaking board. So other than that, I don't have any other information. I don't know what other information the board may have. Also, just today, the agency partner grant window was opened. This is an opportunity for the town to seek any grants under the agency partner grant and the MIG grant. A potential project that comes to my mind, and maybe something for the town to partner with the firehouse with regards to the pump at the mill site, so maybe get some funds for the firehouse and the town for the installation of a new pump for the fire district, as well as refurbing the building that the pump sits in, which is owned by the town. So other than that, I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandy?
Hi, Sandy Coe, Recreation Director. I want to thank the town board and the public for the opportunity to discuss our recreation programs tonight. I'm going to start with camps, and I'll start with Camp Sunny Days. I want to thank Danielle Salzowitz, our day camp director, and her staff for a great season. It was our first year at Helen Waldrich Park, and to quote our new Department of Health inspector, it was a pleasure to inspect the camp. You broke the mold for the perfect camp operator. Thank you. And this was all under the camp COVID guidelines that were very ambiguous and changing by the minute. Thank you again, Danielle, for your dedication and hard work. We also had a visit from two of our PV Pleasant Valley Climate Smart Committee members. I'd like to read the note that they sent to the town board that was dated July 21st. This is from Jean Curley. Mita Plotnick and I visited Sunny Days Camp today to meet Camp Director Danielle Salzowitz and the camp counselors, just to introduce ourselves and get the lay of the camp. We are doing 2 climate-smart interactive activities with the campers tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Composting with the younger group and single-use plastic recycling with the older group. We were both very impressed with the camp, the staff, the number of campers, the organization structure, and how neat the entire facility was. Because we are talking about recycling and the camp is celebrating their own Earth Week soon, we discussed with Danielle and the counselors what the camp should be doing as far as camp recycling. Here are the suggestions that the counselors and Danielle came up with. The barrel for recycling. There seems to be enough of these barrels, and maybe the campus could even decorate the bins to indicate which item goes in each bin. Since we are a climate-smart community, our mission is to spread the word and teach everyone how to do their part to help the earth and the climate. We all think this suggestion from the camp staff is a simple thing to do. And she says, as a resident and member of the Climate Smart Task Force, I ask that the board make this happen as soon as possible. Danielle will provide a more detailed report regarding the committee the committee, the camp, in a minute or two. As far as basketball camp went this year, it was held at Helen Aldrich Park, the basketball courts, rather than inside at the LMS gym the week of August 2nd through August 6th. Camp Laughlin had over 30 campers who enjoyed a week of offensive and defensive training, along with skills contests and games. Our thanks to North Star Sports for once again providing the daily warm-up. Soccer camp, it was coaches Christine Jensen and Lisa Aravena who ran our camp this year with the highest number of campers in recent years. We held it at the Bauer Park soccer fields, and all the campers and staff and volunteers had a good time. They lucked out with it being a sunny but a little warm week. As far as summer hoops goes, our drop-in summer basketball program was run by volunteer coaches Ed Holteling, Rich Chapman, and Cody Palick. It was held every week at the Helen Aldrich basketball courts Monday and Wednesday night. Our youngest division had a record number of participants, as did our older division. We extended the length of the program this summer to 8 weeks. Tonight is our last night for the older players. Again, thank you, coaches Ed Hodling, Rich Chapman, and Cody Palick for a great season. Our free summer concert series. We started the season with the renowned Southern Duchess Concert Band, which is over 50 Wynwood brass and percussion musicians, and they will be ending our season by performing the last concert tomorrow night, weather permitting. The rain date is September 2nd, so grab your lawn chairs and blankets and enjoy some music under the stars. The concert will be held in Katy Park, right down here from 6 to 8, but please check the rec website because it doesn't look very promising for tomorrow night. Soccer. Our soccer director, Tracy Santiago, was unable to attend tonight, but I have an update from her. Our registration for this year is slowly winding down. Tracy has done a tremendous job in beefing up our program. We now have 5 upper division teams that play local towns, including the first year of an all-girls U12 squad. So go PV girls, we're excited. We are also excited to have our U19 squad back again on the field. Our in-house program, which is U5 through U10, has an unbelievable 16 teams and is still growing. Our Soccer Tots program is back again for another season. It's the cutest thing to see these youngest players and their parents enjoying a morning of fun on the soccer field. Registration has started. Please register early to ensure your child's spot in the program. Our newest program that the town board will be voting on this evening is the adult co-ed drop-in soccer program. You're all invited to come out and enjoy some soccer fun in the cool fall weather and possibly burn off some of those extra COVID pounds we all gained this last year. Last but not least, our senior citizen program. Lisa Aravena, our senior citizen coordinator, is on vacation and asked I present an update this evening. As you know, after a long hiatus due to COVID, we started our senior drop-in program mid-July. Lisa has been surveying the seniors in order to provide programming more to their liking. One of the requests was for a boat trip. She has scheduled a 2-hour boat trip from Newburgh to West Point and back again. And no, we don't have a professor, movie star, or millionaire aboard, but I'm sure it'll be an enjoyable cruise. She's also planning an exercise program, another activity that requested that we hope to be up and running soon. Thank you for your time, and I'll introduce Danielle to get up to talk about Camp Sunny Days.
Hi, everybody. Put my eyes on. I'm Danielle Salowitz, the camp director of Camp Sunny Days, and thank you to the board and Sandy Coe for the opportunity to offer the summer camp for the Pleasant Valley community. Families were relieved and thrilled to get their kids out of the house with fresh air, away from screens, and playing with other kids for the first time in a really long time. The recap from the last meeting is that we had 140 campers from grades 1 through 7. This year, our theme was holidays. Since the world was turned upside down with COVID, I decided that it was a good time for everybody to celebrate all the holidays that they missed out on. So we started with a New Year's Eve countdown. We wore football jerseys to celebrate Super Bowl. We dressed up for Halloween and Crazy Hair Day and Backwards Day and NASCAR Day and so much more. We showed thanks for Thanksgiving, and we made thank you cards for veterans and much more. We ended our 6-week talent show with a talent show, and I'm actually surprised Simon Cowell didn't call me for names because there was some amazing talent there. Said before to teach our campers about recycling and composting. Thank you to Jean and Mita. In addition, we had the Dutchess County Sheriff's K-9 unit come, and we met with 3 officers and their ferry partners, and the campers were very excited to learn all about them and how they work. We thank them for sharing their time with us. The staff this year, which was an amazing staff of all COVID-vaccinated staffers, was 6 returning employees and 8 new employees. And this year we offered early drop-off and late pickup, which offered more flexibility for parents. In addition, they had requested this in the past, but we were now able to offer it because we were at West Road and we could offer it at Helen Aldridge Park. So we're happy about that, and the parents were so relieved. In order to open camp this year, we must apply for a permit to the health department. And this year, our new inspector found no issues with our facility, staff, or requirements during his 3 inspections. More importantly, we had no illnesses and very few boo-boos during camp, which we're happy about. And we did hand out an end of the session survey, and all of the parents had positive things to say about their counselors. And the parents' request was for more weeks. They couldn't, they were so disappointed that we ended camp, they wished for more. They asked for more field trips, which we couldn't provide this year because of COVID, but they were all in to have their kids out of the house and getting fresh air.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle.
Okay, Building Fees Committee.
You missed bicentennial.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Flood. Oh, this is not going to work, is it? May I? Okay.
Pull that on the side.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful because it doesn't come all the way out.
Got you. Thank you very much. All right, let me hand these out.
Thank you.
So my name's Dave Kruger. I'm head of the Pleasant Valley Bicentennial Days Committee. We have had an active group of about 20 people working since March, April. We've accomplished quite a bit. Things are looking pretty damn positive, I've got to say, for Pleasant Valley Days. So as was mentioned, it's going to be held on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of September on our bicentennial year at Katie Field. We have entertainment, fundraising, logistics, security, parade, publicity, and vendor committees who've all been very active. We've made arrangements to the town with fireworks, tents, and amusement contractors, amusement vendors. We have online publicity right now on our website, and you can see the website name. It's pvbicentennialdays.com. It's in order to teach everybody how to spell bicentennial. So we are going to be using print, we're going to be using billboards, we're going to use radio, and we're going to use television. So we want to get the word out beyond the people traveling on Route 44. We want this to be a large-scale, successful event. We've had very good luck with our bands, thanks to Johnny D over there in terms of pulling strings and pulling in friends. We have some very strong entertainment this year. We have a number of, something like 20 or so commercial, food, and nonprofit vendors signed up so far. Over 25 groups, including Camp Sunny Days, marching in the parade. And parade kicks off at 1 o'clock on Sunday, so I encourage you to go take a look at the website, get a chance. You can see the schedule there. You can buy your Pleasant Valley Bicentennial Days keychain. You can buy your Pleasant Valley Bicentennial Days t-shirts and hats. So we've got merchandise on the website. We've got the schedule. We've got sign up for the cornhole tournaments. You can find the overall schedule, including the detail of which bands start at what time. Registration for the cornhole tournament. The first annual Jack Haverty Classic Car Show will be held on Friday afternoon, right after our opening ceremony. Our opening ceremony is going to include the supervisor giving a talk about Pleasant Valley. Sue Sereno's been invited, Mark Molinaro's been invited. Haven't confirmed them yet. Sue, I think, is halfway convinced. We're going to have the Pleasant Valley Historical Society give us an overview on 200 years of Pleasant Valley history. We'll have a few service groups talk about what they do, and then we will be unveiling a plaque. So we have a plaque design we'd like to run by you guys, get your approval, because we don't want to order a $500 plaque if the town can't use it. So what we have done is looked at the monument that's outside this building, which has 150th anniversary monument, 175th anniversary monument, and what we want to do, they're vertical. We have a horizontal 150, a vertical 175. There's room, if we slide the 175 to the left, we can put the 200 right next to it. So what we'd like to do is get the town's approval to accept a plaque that will look like this. Can you pass it around, please? It'll be metal, of course. The whole idea is keep it simple, keep it something that will commemorate our town's bicentennial, and something that will fit on the monument. That way, the monument can be relocated if the town hall, when the town hall moves. So, and by the way, you might want to look, because I heard something that there may be a time capsule under there, so you might want to take a peek at that before you move the monument. Anyway. So that stuff has been going on. Again, we're trying to be very cautious. We don't want to spend the money on something we can't use. So we've had very good luck with vendor signups. We've had good luck with sponsors. We would like to make this a special day. So we're trying lots of new special things. We've got the Quiet Cove set up in the corner for children and for people who are overly stimulated by too many lights and too much noise. So we're going to have a very quiet area back in the wooded area to the right as you head down the driveway. And there'll be string lights, there'll be tents, there'll be pony rides, there'll be a petting zoo, all kinds of child and sensitive person-oriented stuff in that area. We've actually applied for some county funding to help with that as well. And they are very interested. The Think Differently group was very supportive of that work. So anyway, after the supervisor gives us his stirring speech and all those other wonderful people, we're going to unveil the plaque, which probably won't be quite ready at the time, but we will get you a mock-up, and then you can have the plaque when it's ready. So hopefully, if we get you guys to whatever formality is needed to accept the plaque, we'd like to get that done before we order the thing, so it's not sitting in a shelf somewhere. Whenever you think it's appropriate.
Something like that, just a simple motion, and the record is fine.
Oh, all right.
I so move that we accept this plaque as is.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll order that. It's Rich Canaris putting it together for us. And then I'd also like to thank Councilman Mazzella for his signs, as Sandy mentioned, or as Mary Beth mentioned. Yes, it was, thank you. We really appreciate the help.
It was easier than worrying about letters.
One other request I have for you, Frank, would be, you put together this absolutely excellent flyer
I can send it to you.
2 years ago. And we're trying to get it printed and updated with all the current sponsors, everything else, and just to avoid conflicts of,
I'll send it to you.
thank you very much, because we're going to go,
I understand.
And, yeah, exactly. We don't want to cause any problems. So we're close to laying out the field. The schedule's done. The parade route's pretty much done. We've met with the fire police and Dutchess County sheriffs, Officer Beal and Officer Castano. We're going to have extra security this year because we want to make sure that things run as they are supposed to. There have been problems in the past with people jumping into the middle of the parade, children riding bikes up and down the parade. We're going to have extra security between the fire police and the Dutchess County sheriffs, and possibly some retired officers. We've set up a very strict set of parade rules. You know, when the float ends at Katie Field, don't drive the float down into Katie Field. Let everybody out, go down to Wilbur, turn around and come back, etc. So we're trying to anticipate and learn from problems in the past. We've had some very good guidance and very good help, and hopefully everything will run smoothly. I think we're in pretty damn good shape for the most part, although we've had a lot of people working a long time to help out with that. Any questions? Actually, if you go to the website, you'll see most of the details there.
You mentioned you have a bunch of food vendors that are signed up. I just don't know if they, later in the meeting, we're voting to lower the peddler's permit for those vendors.
Okay.
Just make sure that they get insurance on file. Mary Beth is the only thing I would say.
Okay, we have the insurance certificates. We're keeping track of everything.
As long as, just because I think she needs peddler's permits from all of them.
Yes,
So-
that was our understanding, is that we needed peddler's pits from people selling food or from commercial people selling things for profit, correct? Okay. Yep. And that's where we've been directing them to Town Hall for that. All right, thank you, Frank, so that'll be very helpful.
I'll send it to you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the Building Fees Committee.
Hi, I'm Phil Apicino. I'm a member of the Building Fee Committee. The Building Fee Committee was approved by the town July 21st. The following day, Jen was kind enough to send us, all the board committee members, a list of their contact information, so we immediately made contact, and we had our first meeting actually on July 28th, 6 days later. Prior to that meeting, I finished contacting and collecting information from 18 surrounding towns. The information collected consists of their general fees, building, planning, and zoning fees. Not all the fee information was online, so I had to reach out to some of the towns because they may have had building fees but not their zoning fees, or something was always missing. I want to say the towns were extremely helpful. They emailed us all the information. The updated information. I even got something from a town clerk who was at an airport getting ready to board a plane, and she sent me an email with the data after the town clerk requested it from another individual. All the data collected for these towns is up to date at this time. All the information from the 18 towns will be included, and the emails will be included in a package that will be complete and go to the town board with our recommendations. I had the data for each town printed out, and I want to thank the town clerk's office for printing out all the copies we needed for the board members. And a couple of times I went down there and they jumped right on it for us to keep the thing moving, which thank you again. At our first meeting on July 28th, we divided the towns between the 5 committee members. There was a sheet provided with those town fees that had line items on there that had to be filled out. So basically, you had to go through every bit of a town's information and fill in the lines that were created based on our original fees. It took a lot of time, and now that we have all that information, Mike Reifenberg is putting it on a spreadsheet, and he said each town takes him about an hour to list. So all the data is in. I want to thank the committee member for getting it all in. It took longer than anticipated. We were supposed to have a meeting on the 16th, but because of all the data and how time-consuming it was, it took a little longer. Just an example, this is 18 towns, and we divided that up in 5 board members. The tabs were put on just to bring things and make it a little easier to find. and this will be turned over to the town once we're complete. Each town is different, the way their fees are structured. That's what made it a lot more time-consuming. The entire committee wants to make sure that this is done correctly and accurately, so the town doesn't have to start this all over again. We should have a recommendation to the board before the workshop session at the start of September. Would any of the other board members, committee members like to say something? Anybody have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Guys for all your thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank everybody.
Okay, before we open the meeting to the public, I just want to have a couple comments. I got a call from the highway superintendent today, and the roll-off truck is in service. It's going to be start hauling on Monday. So that was a big deal, and I wanted to thank everybody that up at the highway garage that worked on that. They had to do a lot of welding and a lot of fabricating to get that truck up and running. So that's progress. Also, tomorrow, August 19th, I consider it to be a very significant date in Pleasant Valley history. August 19th, 1955, we had the flood of 55. I was 7 years old, so do the math, I'm an old guy. But I'll never forget it, because my father, we moved up here from Long Island in 1954. My father planted the farm and everything all. He bought the farm because of the proximity to the Wappingers Creek, because we had to irrigate everything. So we got the first crop in, and then the second year, 55, we had the flood of 55. And my father literally lost everything. So that date will go down in my mind forever. So I just wanted to bring that up. August 19th is a significant date in Pleasant Valley history. With that, I'll entertain a motion to open the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Carol Campbell, 122 Marshall. Thank you for the Hometown Herald report. I actually had that on my talking points for the second part of the meeting, Jeff. Thank you so much. I was driving around the county and I saw some banners up and they looked so super that what made me think about it was the bicentennial and getting them up. So thank you. That's awesome. That's not on, that is kind of on the agenda. The only question I have is about agenda item, I don't know which abstract. You have two abstracts on. You have 8106 and 8107. My only comment on either one of them is that Town Board Resolution number 7105, which was supposed to have a refund to someone, I am hopeful that that refund is in one of those two abstracts. I don't know which is highway and which is general, but this person has been waiting for the refund since May, and it's August, and she has not received it. So if the town board could, I'm assuming...
It's 8108.
8108. I'm assuming that you had to wait until you were paying the bills. So I just make that comment because I think that's a very long time to wait. Okay? Thank you very much.
Michael Reifenberg, 45 Ryan's Run. Just agenda number, item number 7 about the budget meeting dates. Just a couple things maybe you guys can discuss when you get to that. The times on them, I'm just thinking that for residents, these times probably aren't the best. Most people are still in work, and I know you're probably meeting with the departments, but these meetings also, as far as I know, minutes aren't recorded for it. So I know last year there was a couple things that residents brought up as concerned items during the public hearing for the budget, and we were assured that they were corrected, but they weren't. And it's very difficult for when these are held at these times to to be able to come here and participate and at least watch and listen, especially with no minutes being taken. And then just one other thing, Yom Kippur, something to think about. Maybe you'd want to think about moving that, just because I know that's one of the holiest days if you follow that religion. So that runs, I believe, evening to evening. So anybody who wanted to come to Wednesday or Thursday, probably not going to be here. So just something to think about. Thank you for your time.
Hi, here's a question for Frank Mazzara. Last month meeting, you took my name and address on Traver Road. What was the accomplish of it?
It's not, you're the wrong part of the meeting, actually. This would be new business at the end. But to answer your question, nothing. I've been dealing with the death of my father died on Saturday, and I haven't had the time to look into your unique situation. I apologize.
Well, I just want you to know because I went on Traver Road from one end to the other. Okay, I checked all the houses. I looked them over. And my neighbor, 1936, 736, is a dump. Okay? So after, whatever you have to do it, I expect you to go out and check it out and look at it. And I'm telling you, if I say a dump, I went to cut my lawn today, okay? Because up the driveway, she comes out with hands on the hip and gives me a dirty look and taking pictures. I'm cutting my own lawn.
Okay, but just again, this is not on the agenda. This would be under new business. This would be later in the meeting. We should talk about this.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. And Mary. Private joke. Watch what you put on Facebook. New teaming. I don't know whether you all have heard or read, but the Spanish club and the local club have disbanded. It is now totally Spanish. That's not a, I don't mean that as a derogatory remark, but it's the local one, which they call in the Grange, which actually is in Unionvale, is on its own now. And the one at New Teaming is only a Spanish group. So, be that what it's made. Frank, on New Teaming, yeah, it is a special date. I wasn't far from your home on that date. I was up in scout camp for 6 weeks, and during that whole 1955 debacle. And I looked out and looked at your cornfield and didn't see it. It was all water. But yes, it was quite a date. I really don't have anything else in old business. Probably something coming up with new. Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I move to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll get into the resolutions. Number one is 1804-2021, establishing Pleasant Valley Weekend Peddler Certificate Fee. Whereas that pursuant to Chapter 71 of the Town of Pleasant Valley Code entitled Peddling and Soliciting 71-7-.A states that the town board shall establish a resolution and file with the town clerk a schedule of fees to be paid prior to issuance of certificates, and that whereas the town board desires to establish a peddler certificate fee specifically for Pleasant Valley Weekend, now therefore be resolved that the town board of Pleasant Valley hereby establishes a peddler certificate fee for Pleasant Valley Weekend at $15, and further be it resolved, any person defined as 71-2, person seeking to engage in this distribution of certain materials, peddling, soliciting, and related activities for the Pleasant Valley Weekend must apply for a peddler certificate, and be it further resolved that any person who has a current and valid certificate must also apply, but would be exempt from having to pay the $15 fee for the Pleasant Valley Weekend. And therefore, be it further resolved that all other provisions of Chapter 71 of the Town of Pleasant Valley Code shall be remain the same and in full force and effect.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. First off, the Pleasant Valley Weekend title is not the title of what's going to happen this year, because it's different, and each one is different. So usually, it's usually Pleasant Valley Weekend.
Right, but this is...
This one is Bicentennial Days. So this is a little different, so we might want to consider changing that for this, and then have to do this again.
No, just make a motion just to change the wording of town, instead of Pleasant Valley Weekend
Right,
to Pleasant Valley Bicentennial.
That's fine. So I move that we change that wording to Bicentennial Days.
I'll second that motion. Let's do it in order here, just to keep it, I'll second that. We should vote on that.
So we're going to vote on that?
We're voting on just changing it from Pleasant Valley Weekend to Pleasant Valley Bicentennial Days. Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Go ahead, John.
And so this is to this is actually for the people who are
Like a vendor.
a vendor coming into the
Yeah.
the park. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
for
I
anyone
think
else.
usually the fee, Mary Beth, what's the fee normally? Usually the fee is $50. We're lowering it just to make sure, almost to make it all-inclusive in a matter of speaking. Plus, it's only good for the event, but if you paid the $50 fee for the year, you're covered.
Right.
I'm sorry, oh, sorry.
So it's just for the vendors coming in?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And we just got all in favor on the resolution.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, resolution number 8105, 2021, establishing rates for the Pleasant Valley Adult Co-ed Drop-In Soccer Program.
Sorry, I thought it was off.
That's all right.
You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Whereas the Town of Pleasant Valley Recreation intends to operate an adult co-ed drop-in soccer program, and whereas the adult co-ed drop-in soccer program will run during the regular soccer seasons, one weekend day per month, and whereas the registration rates will be established at $5 for residents and $10 for non-residents, now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Pleasant Valley Recreation Department hereby establishes an adult co-ed drop-in soccer program in accordance with the recitations set forth above, which are included in the resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein, and be it further resolved that the adult co-ed drop-in soccer program shall be effective immediately and until changed or modified by the town board. So moved.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Resolution number 8106, 2021, authorizing payment of abstract number 8 of 2021. Whereas the town board, Town of Pleasant Valley, has audited the bills presented by the town clerk, and an abstract has been compiled, now therefore be resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to pay all claims as follows. Abstract 8 of 2021 general fund claims, $81,550.49. Abstract number 8 of 2021, highway fund claims, $44,375.76. Abstract number 8 of 2021, ambulance, $13,420. Abstract number 8 of 2021, streetlights, $3,927.24. Abstract number 8 of 2021, capital project, 0.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, abstract number 8, I'm sorry, Town Board Resolution number 8107, 2021, authorizing payment of abstract number 8P of 2021. Whereas the Town of Pleasant Town of Pleasant Valley Town Board has audited the bills presented for consultant escrow fees as specified by Town Code 82-15, 98-91, and so forth, by the town clerk, and the abstract has been compiled, and now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to pay all claims as follows. Abstract number 8 of 2021, planning and zoning escrow, $2,994.10.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Town Board Resolution Number 8108 of 2021, amending the 2021 budget, general fund budget. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Pleasant Valley has an expenditure and revenue for the town 2021 adopted budget line items that will adjust the amounts of such budget lines, and whereas the bookkeeper finds it necessary to amend the 2021 adopted budget to meet these adjustments, and resolved, the Town Board of Town of Pleasant Valley hereby authorizes, empowers, and directs the town supervisor to amend the 2021 adopted budget as follows. Account number A 2001000, park and rec fees, increase by $500. Account number A 2115000, planning board fees, increase $500. Account number A 1375.400, credit card fees, increase $500. A 3620.400, contractual expense, increase $500.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, discussion on Camp New Teaming. I received an email from Bill Eisenhart. He represents the Dutchess County Council of Boy Scouts of America and the potential sale of some of their properties. If there is an interest to complete the confidentiality agreement here, which will allow us to send full marketing materials with a few due diligence items and notify you when the bid deadline is. And I think, Frank,
Yep, you and I talked, so I submitted that. The bid deadline is September 15th. I got the email actually this afternoon at 2:30. The deadline for bid is Wednesday, September 15th by 3 p.m. Bids will be accepted on an individual property or a portion of individual property. So they're either they'll divide or they'll sell the whole thing. But there's this bid, just to be clear, that this bid process there's 3 scout properties that are up for sale. There's one in Putnam Valley, there's one in Rockland County, and then the one here in Pleasant Valley.
So at this juncture, Paul, I think it might be wise for us to possibly maybe put a letter of interest if we haven't already done so. And then I think the further discussion should be with an executive session on these matters at that point in time.
Yeah, that would make sense.
No, you're on. There you go.
The purchase or sale of real property and the negotiation strategies with regard to that should be done in executive session.
Thank you.
okay, moving right along. Discussion on possible budget meeting dates.
I will have to echo what Mike Reifenberg said before. Honestly, I won't be able to make any single one of these meetings. Honestly, if they could be at 5:30, that'd be great. I mean, I know that's even early for a meeting for us, but it's, I don't know. I mean, it is in the middle of the workday, and
Very bad. Okay, so these dates have to be, you have to advertise them, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they want to make changes, we could do it right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, let me.
Well, if I may, we also have one board member not here.
Right.
Okay, so it might be wise, I think what we should do.
You want to set them at our September workshop meeting?
No, let's do this. Let's all take these dates that we have on this board and then submit them as we think they should be.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, let's say just, for instance, Tuesday, 9/7/21. I can make that one, Keith can make that one.
That's
and
also
can-
Rosh Hashanah.
Can we move it at, well, where's that one?
September 7th is,
That's Yom Kippur on 9/15.
no, I know, but Rosh Hashanah is also on the 7th. Yeah.
I mean, we have to do our work. I mean,
We could do it all in one day.
no.
No, just sit here, right here, all departments, one day, right after.
All right, well, meeting with the departments is one thing. Okay, that takes a lot of time. Okay, they make their pitch, and we discuss with them a little bit what's give and take, what's going on. So it takes a little bit of time on these things if done right. So I say what we do for this from now until the next week, or actually I think we should do it faster, before the end of this week, is submit the dates that we can make, and let's make them at 5:30. Let's make them at least that, so that people can actually maybe attend. If someone got out of work about maybe, I don't know, duck out at 5, you can make it here by 5:30ish or something like that.
I mean, and they'll still be live, I mean, if people want to watch.
Right,
them,
and it is going to be live.
Take a minute.
But, 2:30 on a Friday, that's going to be tough for anybody to make. I agree with that. 4 o'clock is, you have your departments, here's the thing too. You have your department showing up, they have to put in a day's work, and then they can come and make their pitch at afterwards. So at 4 o'clock, they're still here, right? They're still working.
Yeah,
So-
well, no, they quit at 4. We closed town hall at
Okay,
4.
I mean, but, so what do we say, we just take these dates, look at them, give Mr. O'Hanlon a chance to look at it as well, I mean, and completely.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are court night.
Oh, my God. Tuesdays.
On top of that, it's court night, okay.
Oh, I understand why you were doing it during the day. Oh.
That's why they did it at 4 o'clock.
No, yeah, we could actually, if we wanted to do a marathon on the departments and do them all in one day, that would require a little extra effort on our part.
It might make sense to just do
Maybe
it Monday
some
the 13th.
Coffee,
Start at 5:30 and just go till whenever we finish on Monday the 13th.
Monday to 9:13.
You can't, that's our opening for our band.
Sorry. I'm looking at date, I'm not looking at calendar, I'm just looking at dates that are on this. All right,
Yom Kippur starts.
Yeah.
Thursdays get real close to bicentennial.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to suggest Thursday the 16th, forget it. Because we're out here building and moving.
It would have to, honestly then, to be honest with you, I was gonna say Thursday the 9th or the 10th, yeah. Thursday the, I mean, we might have to do,
You can't do, it's court, so we're only left with Friday.
So Friday, 9:10.
Yeah, the only thing we have to do then is change the start date, the start time.
yeah, just change it to 5:30, yeah.
Right, so
Just
if
change
we
it
put
from
all this to
2:30 to
9:10,
5:30. Yeah.
make it at 5:30, and then we just stay until it's over. I know it's a Friday, I know a lot of people want to go out and do their thing, but we got to get this done.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
the problem is, we have the Tuesday and Thursdays of court,
All right, I get that.
then we got the bicentennial coming up, then we got the Yom Kippur and all that, so you're really limited to what you can do.
So,
Unless we, sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to- unless we split the nights between the 10th and the 15th, because the 15th oh, that's our meeting, we have a meeting that
And
day.
that's
Never
Yom
mind.
Kippur too,
No, Yom Kippur is the 16th,
is it?
It's the 16th.
It says here, the 15th.
No, this starts at sundown.
Starts at sundown on the 15th, sorry, and goes into the 16th. All right.
we have a
Well,
meeting
the
that night
22nd
anyway.
is always an option as well.
We have a meeting that night anyway.
That's right, yeah, I know, I just,
So why not do this? Let's get as much as we can get done on 9:10.
yep,
At 5:30 till whenever.
Yep.
And then whatever we don't finish up, we put on early before Wednesday, 9:15 before our meeting.
okay.
Our meeting starts at 7, so if we were here at 5 o'clock into 2 hours, I think that's fair.
So you do it Wednesday, 9:15 at 5:30?
Yeah,
At 5:30?
in case we need it, yeah.
So Friday's a big push, Wednesday would be the cleanup.
Yep,
Okay.
okay, that works.
Okay, so You need a motion for that?
I move we get coffee for that day.
Yeah, we're gonna need something. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we set the two budget meetings, Friday, 9:10 at 5:30 PM, and the second being Wednesday, 9:15 at 5:30 PM. Need a second.
Second, I'm sorry. Go ahead, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the last item is approving the meeting minutes for July 7th, July 9th, July 21st, August 4th, and August 9th.
I read them. I'll make a motion to approve them.
I'll second that.
Discussion.
Discussion?
Yeah, can I ask, one, why is it, didn't we move our meetings so that we can have these things each week or each time from meeting to meeting? I remember when I first started, we were able to do that, and we were doing them back to back. So is there a reason why we're doing these in chunks? Because I gotta tell you, I'm older, too. I can't remember what I said 2 weeks ago sometimes, It's hard to go back and read all this stuff, and as I get it, it's not verbatim, correct? It's
Notes.
It's kind of paraphrased, right?
We moved our meetings because of that. We moved them
Well, it's one of the
because
reasons, because our work couldn't get done from one point to the next.
Yeah, but that was because of the resolutions that needed to get done in a very short period of time. That's why we moved the meetings.
Honestly, we don't, according to Robert's rules, we actually don't need to approve minutes at all.
We don't.
So-
Every organization I've ever been in approves meeting
Do we need to
minutes.
approve minutes?
So,
Clerk's minutes.
right, that's correct.
They're clerk's minutes.
Yeah, we don't need to approve them, technically. So honestly, I mean, do we pass a resolution approving something we don't need to approve? Or we just put them online? I mean, they're,
That's where they should be, because they should be just put online.
yeah, they should be just put online. As long as you're, if we don't need to approve them, and as long as you're done with them, I would just put them on the website. Right? Am I wrong?
It's up to the board. I got permission from Supervisor Sinsky last time I had them,
Yeah.
but waiting for meetings, am I allowed to put them on the website or am I not allowed to?
What's the
put them
legal
on the
opinion on
website?
this one?
So it's a
They should be made available to the public within 2 weeks of the meeting, whether or not the board approves them, and the board can subsequently approve them after that.
Okay.
So you can amend them the following meeting.
Yeah.
So how's this going to work now in the future? For my own sake.
Well, like Paul said, they should be made viewable to the public within 2 weeks from the meeting, and then they would go on the website.
They were done.
They all have been done, right? So,
So like, for instance, so July 7th should be ready by July 21st, correct?
Well, I was not here. I was at a wait, my deputy was on vacation. That's why.
I get that.
Got a little.
I get tax time, there's different reasons for it, but I mean, it seems though every time I'm getting these, it's 5 and 6 and 7, and I have to go back and I have to read them all, and, it's a long process all in one chunk, and it's not fair to the people to have to go back and look if they're really looking. So what are we gonna do now?
what I'm saying is,
They were up on the website.
They're gonna go on within 2 weeks. They'll be put on, each meeting will be put on within 2 weeks from the time of our meeting, whether it's workshop or special or regular or whatever. And then, she can
right.
they can just.
They'll just go up as they're done.
email to
We don't
us.
need to approve them. Like, they'll just go up as they're done. She'll
Right.
email us a copy like she always does. Like, the process doesn't change. It's just the only thing that changes is we don't actually have to formally vote.
Okay? I just never
like,
heard of that.
Mary Beth emails them to us as soon as they're done. Like, we get them in a timely fashion on our email box.
I get
We just can't approve them.
I'm a member of the Elks, I'm a member of different organizations, I'm a member of the Lutheran Care.
Those are all-
I get it, but every single one of them, they have the meeting, the first thing that they do is accept the minutes from the last meeting. It's the first thing they do.
And it states right in there that they do not need to be approved.
Do what you want to do. That's fine, as long as they're going to get out there for the people to read in a timely fashion.
I've been doing this for many years, and they send to the board, no one says anything. No one has a question, no one says anything, so.
All right, but I'm noticing, Mary Beth, that it's 5 and 6 at a time, when I remember when I first started, it was not. So is there something that you need to do it faster? Do we have to buy an apparatus or some kind of computer or some kind of thing to where it goes faster? We got budget time coming up. Let's get it in there if that's what needs to be done. Whatever. I'm just saying, whatever
They
Mm.
were up on the website.
Yeah, that's why I asked Ms.
I'm the one who puts them up. They were up there.
That's why I
They
asked
go
you-
up on the website.
They were up on the website.
They were up on the website.
Were or are?
They, the ones from the past ones, they were already up prior to the meeting.
Oh, okay.
And they said unapproved.
But I think you could, what I'm saying is, we don't need to formally approve them. So when you write them, that doesn't need to be, like, I would just post them. Like, as soon as they're done, just,
That's perfect.
yep, that's, yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Let's get to the, open the meeting to the public again.
I will make a motion to open the meeting to the public for new business only.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Mike Reifenberg again. Just really quick to go off of the discussion. One thing that was brought up a couple months ago, I think it was Councilman Mazzella who brought it up, was potentially looking into software to better the transparency of the town board and all the other boards in town by allowing the town clerk and the other clerks to be able to process minutes, agendas, get that information out in front of the public. I believe there were some concerns from other council members that wanted to do research and call their towns to look into that software. It never went anywhere.
It did, we just met with another. We just had a Zoom meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, but it,
so it's still moving forward.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gonna put something, I'm trying to put something.
I
in the budget.
wasn't real thrilled with the one.
Okay, because I think that,
No, we've had a Zoom meeting, and he's preparing the packet to present to the board.
because when,
Someone using it.
yeah, when you start looking at other towns, I mean, the county, whoever, they're all using some sort of program to make this, and it will organize everything and it'll allow us to see everything. So, cool, thank you.
If I could. Jeff Cady, 1005 Netherwood Road. Just a real quick, if I could do two things while I'm standing here? I'll be less than three. The Land Conservancy with Tom Hahn, I hope you guys look at that closely and do whatever you need to do to get that taken care of. Tom's a pillar in the community, and it would be sad to see houses on his property. The second thing is, as all of you know, the 20th anniversary of September 11th is coming up. And if you don't know, the town of Hyde Park, along with the Paul Techmark Committee, does a very nice ceremony on 9/11. It's a Saturday. It starts at 6:30 at the Paul Techmark Memorial on East Market Street at Hackett Hill. The Pleasant Valley Fire Department participates in that, and they do read names of area first responders who have passed, not just Hyde Park, but area towns. The Milan Fire Department and the Soul Point Fire Company each lay wreaths. So if you're interested, it's a great night, very well attended, and with the 20th anniversary, it's going to hit home to a lot of people. Thank you very much.
Whoever wants to get to the microphone first.
Greg. Sorry about your father, Frank. I was wondering about the BARD forms for the air study.
I honestly, I was gonna work on them on Saturday.
Right.
But probably tomorrow, honestly.
Okay. My wife has filed 7 foils back on 5/15, and Johnny, you said that you knew the laws on this. Well, she filed these foils back on 5/15 and not heard one response. And she sent in a appeal on July 31st, which is 13 days, because you have 10 days to answer the appeal, and it's 13 days right now, and no one's answered the appeal, and it's against the law.
A response was provided to your wife with regard to the foil. There was a couple foils that had or made the same or identical requests. There is a appeal filed, and a response will be shortly provided.
And again, on the other minutes and whatnot, Pace University put out a notice of intent to sue, which was approved, but that was submitted. When's that going to be put on the town site? Because people want to see it. It was part of the minutes. It needs to go on.
I can't do that, but
Yeah, well, yes, you can, because they just stated tonight that it was turned in.
I'll have to cycle back to you tomorrow, Greg. Let me find out. I've been out, so let me figure it.
But again, now, on those foils, we should not be waiting. It was 5:15 they were put in.
No, they weren't, they put in on 6:15.
Excuse me?
I clearly wrote stamp 6:15. The date was incorrect on the foil. Yeah, that says June. It says June 15th.
16?
You're saying 5:15.
Or June, yeah, 5/15.
No,
Or
no.
6/15. All right, 6/15, June. But we're still, it's beyond the legal stature.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe a response was provided to your wife in response to that FOIL. I provided a response.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thank you.
I want to talk about the town website. I made mention of it before. And I want to talk about the bid, the RFP for 1903 Route 44. I think that Councilman Ackerman said at the last meeting to extend the bids and put them back out. Is that correct?
To extend, to rebid, to put it back out.
Okay, my question is, I've been out on the website, and the RFP for 1903 Route 44 has not been updated. And the dates have not been changed, and that, should they be changed?
There will be a new RFP that will be released. There's going to be some changes to it, but it will be put back out for bid.
And it'll be on the website?
Sure.
Okay. My question about the bid for that is, I did read it, and again, this question is, how do they submit an offer? How do they put out a bid for it? Because the website hasn't been updated yet. But my biggest concern is, and I've seen a lot of RFPs, but what I don't see is an asking price for the building. In other words, my concern as a taxpayer and a resident is, where do they start when they make an RFP? And I understand the board has a right to deny it, but I would caution this board not to take less money for the building than we paid for it. And it's very difficult to go out there and look at the RFP and not see a starting point. I would think that the board would want a starting point. There is no price out there on the RFP of what the bid should be. And I encourage this board to update the website. To see town board agendas is, on our Facebook page. I'm not sure how many people in town have access to Facebook, so.
Actually, about 1,000 people look at our Facebook page, look at all of everything we post, yeah.
I think that's great, but here we are in August, and, we still don't have some things put up. I also had on my list about the barred air monitoring, and I understand that there's some, but things aren't getting out there. And so I'd love to see it updated. I'd love to see resolutions out there. It's very hard to catch a resolution when it's being read into the record. Thank you very much.
First, I can't tell you how much I support Tom Hahn's proposal, and then the other proposal that saves farmland in Pleasant Valley. I've heard rumors that the old Crayon Brink farm has been sold, but I don't know that. But if it has,
Which farm, Gary?
that would be Sam Simons.
I just didn't hear you at first, that's all.
Oh,
You know, my age.
but really, it's an important thing for us. We're one of the few central Dutchess towns that still has active farmland. And that's why people have come here. I've heard a lot of talk about people leaving town for this or that. They come here because it's rural. Unfortunately, I get nosy at times. I come to a meeting, we meet down in the pavilion down there at Katy Park. And I'm usually early to everything, so I go for a walk. I walk around Katy Park, and I'm not blaming our maintenance people, but the old broken picnic benches from the 8-year-ago flood are stacked behind the building. We spend $360,000 for toilets up north. We have 2 here that can't be used. I don't know why. There's a snack bar there if it was used. These are things that we're putting up north, but we have here and can't use. This is for new business only. I would I would suggest, instead of new business only, stuff that's brought up that hasn't been answered really should be allowed to. So I'll talk about the rock with the plaque down there. The rock's new. Has anything been done about getting that
Cleaned up?
Katy plaque?
Yeah, Supervisor Szynski and I have been talking about it, what to...
Yeah, well, they have to put, I went down and looked at it, Gary, and it's a metal, a bronze plaque, but there's wood behind it.
Yes.
So I told Tom Morrison that maybe he could go down and get a couple of screws.
No.
So what do you want to do then?
Hire a monument company and they put in fasteners that cannot be screwed out.
Well, they're out now.
They've been ground out.
I didn't see any grinding marks, I just saw that they were missing.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. When it's gone, it's gone. I guess that's it. We don't get answers anyway.
I just have a quick question about the software for the meeting minutes. Will it include planning and zoning board meetings as well?
It'll be for everybody.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it would be for everybody.
Okay, awesome.
There's no sense in us investing in something that can't be used by every department.
Okay.
I just wasn't thrilled about it today.
Oh, okay.
The one that we saw.
This particular company.
This particular one, yeah.
Okay. And I support Tom Hahn's Conservancy project too.
Thank you.
Dan Deegan, 6 Oxford. Different direction here, Frank. My condolences. I had no idea. I'm sorry. So on a different note, I went to the town of Pleasant Valley Food Bank tonight. I don't know if anybody's been there. I'm in awe. It was heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time, but I was really proud of this town and the kind of people that we have living here. I think we forget that a lot. I've lived here 14 years. I'm kicking myself because I've been donating all my time at the Hudson Valley Food Bank. So the food that we were putting in boxes was coming up here, but I could have saved a lot of drive time by just going down the street. I didn't know it was there. I know this was mentioned at the last meeting, Mr. Day, what you brought up. I think this is a tremendous opportunity, and it's a good way together. I think everybody knows, but it's dire straits. And to give you some stats, in 2020, for starters, we should just be clear, these folks risked their lives to feed other human beings. And there's some folks there that probably shouldn't be there during COVID, and they were. They fed, I just heard this tonight, 4,700 families was fed by that organization in 2020, 60,000 pounds of food. That's one night a week they do. It's their home. That can't happen. We got to figure out a way. We got to rally. And I think from what I've learned recently, going around town, we can do this in this community. We can find a way to put this somewhere. And if we can't, we'll build it. We will build a structure. We have to do this. And I think this could be a thing where we could rally everybody and put somebody behind a cause that matters. But I don't want to say they're desperate, but they've gone their channels, and they've run into dead ends. And I went there, and I was pretty bold, and I said, we as a community, we are going to figure this out, and I'm going to go down there and say something. So I know you were going to bring it on the agenda. I appreciate it.
If I may, just interrupt you real quick, I'll give you a quick little update of some of the people that I was speaking with. So when they said December is like the last date that they can stay there to, that's like the emergency date. That's like you got to get out kind of thing. They can probably go a little further, but then you're talking about bad weather. All right, so they would really love to move to a home if they could and be there. And I think we can pull it off. I think we could do it up on 44 at the new town hall. I still think that's a possibility. And I was going to bring it up to at the end after everyone was speaking to put it on next meeting's discussion to actually make the move.
And they knew you were going to do that, so they appreciated that. Yeah, they did flag on that. I mean, I think we got to look at all options. They were thinking that's a bit out of town, with people that don't have cars, because it's relevant to them. I'm concerned that I've lived here 14 years. I didn't know it was there. If more people find out, they're going to have more demand.
I believe they also said it was like 54 families right here in our town that depend on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it was, we can do it. So I just wanted to flag that, and we'll keep working on it.
Kathy Kruger, Wells Road, Pleasant Valley. I don't understand not approving minutes, number one. Any committee I've ever been on, one of the first thing you do is you approve the minutes. God knows if there's ever a typo or something that was misread or misunderstood. To me, minutes should always be approved. The other thing is I've been a secretary on many boards, and we've always had old business and new business. And it's interesting, I have written down on my sheet so many things that we have talked about tonight as old business, wanting to still know. And what I don't understand about this board is that things are talked about for maybe a couple, 2, 3 meetings, and then months go by and it's never brought up again. And I don't understand that. I don't understand where the BARD studies have gone. I don't understand why we're even selling the future town hall. I wish we would have maybe Mark Figalozzi, somebody come up here and talk to us about why we can't keep our town hall that we bought and work on it and renovate it. I'm glad you brought up the food pantry because, again, that's something the Rotary Club has been very, very involved with. I've made some phone calls. I even talked to the pastor at the Netherwood Baptist Church, and I gave him Steve Albrecht's number, and I'm hoping that they talked about something because he seemed interested. They have their food pantries on Wednesday afternoons. I think it's every other week from like 11:30 to 1. And he seemed very interested in finding out what our plight was and maybe what he could do to help out. So there are things that are going on in this town that should be brought up every single meeting. The pump in the building, why we have dry fire hydrants in our town is unacceptable. Where are we with water for Pleasant Valley? That hasn't been mentioned in God knows how many months. I don't know, or years, I should say, by now. I mean, and resolutions, again, I think they should be put on the website, Facebook, someplace where we can read, and we know it's not just a number on a piece of paper. We actually know what the hell these resolutions are stating and what you guys are voting on. That's just my piece.
Sorry, I'm back again. Because I had to get up because my back is killing me. So to answer your question, you know, what are they going to do about it?
So honestly, so if it's, we do have a lawn mowing piece to our zoning code. So if you're worried about your neighbor, I would say my first sense to you would tell you to fill out a complaint form. So either our zoning administrator or our new building inspector could look at it.
This was for 3 years, it's coming up.
For the lawn mowing?
For the lawn mowing?
No, about what she's doing to the property. She ruined my driveway. I got to spend almost $20,000 to have my driveway fixed because she put the gutters into my driveway last winter. Okay, it rained, the water came into my driveway. I got pictures and everything else, I filmed. And the thing is, the water ran into it, there was smoke cracks in my blacktop. The water got in there and busted up my driveway.
So you need to fill out a zoning.
I would fill out a zoning complaint form. So
Well, last time the zoning guy came out there, not too long ago.
there's new people in that office. Let's just start there. We have a new zoning administrator and a new building inspector, who I'm sure Mike would love to come out and take a look for you. You need to start by filling out a complaint form.
Do you have to complain for him? Do I pick it up here?
They're right in the vest. We'll get you one before the meeting, before you leave today. I will let you leave with one.
Okay, appreciate it. Because the problem is, when was out there was Carl Pfeiffer was in charge in the zoning board. He came out there. He left a note on the door and spoke to her. She chased him.
Oh, interesting.
She chased him, did you say?
Yes, she chased him. Okay, she's trying to tell me that I was doing all leaving the notes on the door when she wasn't home.
Oh, that'd be interesting to have Mike go out there. Yeah, I would grab a complaint form, please, and then drop it off.
Because I'm getting tired of it, because the problem is going to come to an end. She's a dyke, what can I tell you? Okay? I'm sorry, excuse me my language, but that's the problem is. Her man went to jail. Okay, well, she needs a good man, not a woman.
Well, all right.
Okay.
We crossed the line there, sir, but.
The problem is I'm getting tired of it. I've been living, over 50 years I've been living there, and I had no problems.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I move to close the meeting to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Are we having an executive session?
No, we're ready to have that.
Oh.
We don't want to.
No, I understand. I was wondering if I need a motion for it tonight.
No.
All right, motion to adjourn.